basically, if I can cut out the step where I have to like generate a first frame in another tool first, and then use that to drive the video,
Got it.
and I can cut that out, that's pretty cool. That's useful. That helps, save time. So it's like if I can give you all these elements where it's like, this is what I want to use in my scene, and then I can direct the scene and, have different shots and positions, and I don't have to keep re-uploading stuff. That'd be cool. All right, welcome back to Denoised. Good to see you, Addy.
Hey.
We're back in the studio. So real quick, first off, we're wearing new headphones.
You guys like them?
Some big cans. These are Atomos' new StudioSonic production headphones. And so thanks to them sending us over a pair. And we're going to check it out. We'll report back on how they are in a few weeks.
Yeah, thank you, Atmos. We already loved the brand from before, right? We talked about the Sumo and the Neon.
Yeah, they make great products.
Yeah.
Usually monitors, but then they acquired, I can't remember the company now, they acquired an audio company last year, and then now they're rolling out audio products. They have these headphones, they have some microphones coming out.
Yeah.
So yeah, excited to see what else they develop, because big fan of the monitors. Always been great.
Yeah, and they complement like the Blackmagic stuff really well too, right?
It does have a good look.
Yeah, and the same sort of price point.
I will say one shout out of these headphones that I did appreciate is the cable that it comes with is reversible. So there's two ports on these headphones. One is a 1/4 inch and the other one is a 3.5 millimeter.
Yeah.
And the cable has both, because I always lose the adapters.
Yes.
And so you could just pop out this cable and switch. Like actually you're using the 3.5 millimeter side. I'm using the 1/4 inch.
Yeah.
So that's also something that has been very useful.
Yeah, and it's big. It's big on your head, but then that's because there's a lot of cushioning, so you're getting a natural anti-noise canceling. Yeah,
it cancels everything out without using noise canceling.
Yeah,
it sucks around your ear.
The old school way.
It's very comfy.
Yeah.
Okay. Story-wise, so we're gonna do another end of the week roundup of new AI related stories in a media entertainment space. Big one. Moonvalley has finally released Marey, their AI model, as a product into the world.
Yeah, our timing couldn't have been better. Like we dropped the Bryn interviews, which we were like so eager to drop because it was so interesting and fascinating to us. And Marey.
And then they're like, oh, but we're also releasing the product this week, so now there's a lot of interest in it.
Yeah.
We didn't plan that, but that just happened to be really good timing.
Yeah. So if you haven't watched those episodes, give it a watch. They're on YouTube, Spotify, podcast. Fascinating interview with Bryn.
Yeah, two-parter. So we talk about Moonvalley and the now released Marey product, and then in part 2 we talk about Uncanny Valley and the work they're doing with Natasha Lyonne's directorial debut.
Yeah, and it wasn't just like a soft launch. Like they launched the Comfy UI API, the public release, all at the same time.
So and I wanted to touch on because it kind of just goes to show that they really hit the ground running, but like targeted for professionals. So it's like day one, the product comes out. They have the Comfy UI nodes, and the Comfy UI nodes, I did mess around with it in Comfy UI. It's got a lot of seed control. It's got a lot of more pro level control, output control than you would normally see on other API tools.
Yeah, I saw frame count,
models.
FPS count.
Yeah, a lot of different frame sizes. The output by default is full HD, 1920 by 1080, but then they also had 1:1 ratios, vertical ratios, so a lot of options there. But like all tools, the API is usually a little bit more limiting to what the full website can do. And so they have some interesting features on the website itself. And just, also out of the gate, it's like it supports, being that they're, kind of a little bit late to the game compared to all the other tools that are out there, they released with a lot of features that took other companies time to introduce. So like first frame, last frame. They do have a video restyling type tool.
Style transfer.
Yeah. So you can give it either motion or pose transfer of an existing video and transfer that into the AI output.
Yeah.
They also have camera control from an image or video where you can reposition, keep the shot the same, but try to shift the camera, which is something we talked about with Bryn in the interview.
Yeah.
And an interesting use where we haven't really seen that in another tool, to be like, hey, just keep the video the same, but like shift the angle.
Yeah, I've seen examples of like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Great Gatsby where he's raising the glass, but just shifting that angle.
That's cool. That's interesting. A lot of camera control and things that we have talked about where like at a professional level, it's been lacking in AI tools. And so they've definitely kind of come at this from tools that professional or use cases that professional filmmakers would want to use or see in an AI tool.
I feel like this is like almost like an Apple moment where they think different, right? Like Apple 1.0, you have the IBM, the PC, and like the beige PCs of the world, and then they just come in. They do things slightly differently, but way more creative focused.
Yeah, or just focus on like specific features that creatives would want to see. Pricing wise, it's basically they have plans and then there's the API, but it basically comes out to $1.50 per 5-second generation. So about in the middle of like every pricing for all the other models. And then also we kind of left out the big thing that they lead with, that it is an ethically trained model.
Yes.
That they have said. So that they've said the data that it's trained on was licensed, or they knew where it came from and had permission to train. And so that it is a commercially cleared model, which was something Firefly tried to do. But my thought with that was, cool, but what do the outputs look like? Because the issue with being trained on limited data, because you have to license it, or you know where it comes from, is sometimes the outputs aren't that good. But in the stuff that I messed around with, pretty good, on par with like Runway Gen 4 and some shots. Some shots I had hallucinations, but that's sort of the case with all of these models. You got a lot of trial and error, but I was able to get some good stuff out of it. So quality wise, it's up there. Yeah,
you could definitely tell when we interviewed Bryn, he had such a passion for this being ethically clean. You know, first and foremost, you have to protect the artists, protect the people that are actually going to use this, right? One thing Adobe did very early on that was a big faux pas was whatever you generate, they owned, and then they can use that for training for future models. And they backtracked on that, but that caused big outrage with like the early Firefly customers. So again, they're doing like the things that matter to Hollywood, they're doing it really well. You know, and of course, like that is the biggest blocker right now. It's not so much quality. It's just like, can we even use it?
Okay, right. Yeah, it's still a question of uncertainty. Like I think we've been getting some clarity. Like we had the papers from the Copyright Office. We had the Anthropic ruling.
Midjourney's still going, the lawsuit, I believe.
I think so, yeah. And I mean, there are a number of other lawsuits going around. I hope it gets cleared up in the next year or so.
I think Hollywood is probably the M&E, our industry is probably the one that is the most sort of sensitive to ethical issues. If you go to, I don't know, something else like fashion apparels or something like that, like they don't care about it as much. What they're really concerned with is digital likeness. So they're more concerned about
faces or the people.
Yeah, like of, you know, if it's a famous model, do you have their consent, their right to use it versus is the model itself.
Right. Yeah. Which, I mean, I think that is a valid concern, and of course, like you should, if you're generating a model that looks like someone, should have their permission.
Yeah, right.
I don't think that's going to turn into a carte blanche, do whatever you want. I think that'll just have maybe more legal terms or something outlined in contract negotiations, or
I feel like we're
usage rates for
much more further along in Hollywood because we have been doing digital doubles in VFX for a long time. So like a lot of that stuff SAG has already kind of figured out. And you remember we talked about Kevin the Kid and his SAG approved film. So I think we're much further along than other industries on that side.
Yeah. I mean, we're hitting it first, and so those terms are going to get worked out. First. All right. Other update: Veo 3 World expected, but it is finally out. You can now upload an image, a first frame, and use that as the guide for your Veo 3 outputs. Originally, it was just text to video, which was limiting with character consistency. But now you can give it a frame, and then you still get the advantage of Veo 3 can generate speaking characters. But now you could use a variety of other tools to make first frames with consistent characters, and then have Veo 3 turn that into a video.
Big limitation that they just resolved. I think the other thing Veo 3 doesn't have yet is negative prompting, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think it has negative prompting.
Yeah, so I think once they get past, check that box, and then...
I don't know if any of the Veo models have negative prompting. Like Veo 2 is a little bit more advanced in the sense that it has like some references features where you can kind of give it some, like, you know, character image, location image, and it'll combine them. That's not in Veo 3 yet. I'm sure it'll get there. But I don't know if any of them have negative.
Maybe there
not a lot of tools do, I feel like Runway doesn't.
Yeah, it feels like I mean, if they're fundamentally structured differently, we talked about some of the fundamentals of AI compute in the past. I guess it's just really how you go into the latent space and how you reference all of the notions of those words. If by default, everything that you don't mention is negative, right? Do you even need negative prompting, right? Like if it's like some kind of gate. So I'm not sure if it's like a systematic architecture thing or they just forgot to add it because, you know, that's not how creatives are doing it at Google.
Right, or if just the prompting is good enough where you can just say in the regular prompt, like do not use blah blah blah, or do not make it look.
Oh yeah, you could throw your negative statements in the general prompt.
Yeah,
maybe.
If you're getting outputs you don't, something that's going weird, you can just tell it in the general prompt.
Yeah,
and it would understand it.
If you're out there using VO3 and using some negative prompting in your prompting, let us know in the comments.
All right, other update. This one is more in the browser space, but I think it's worth talking about here because we've talked about operator features in the past.
Yeah.
But Perplexity has publicly released Comet, their new agentic web browser.
Do we need another browser?
I was going to say, a new upcoming browser battle is not what I was thinking would happen in 2025, because also the browser company released Dia, which is their own version of agentic browser. And OpenAI has also just said that they're going to build their own version of an agentic browser.
Yeah.
What is an agentic browser? At first, I was like, I don't know, this doesn't make any sense. What do we need this for? But I've been messing around with Comet, and now I'm a bit sold on the future vision. So basically, all of these browsers, they have sort of like a chat window box on the side, like an OpenAI, or with Comet, it's Perplexity. And it can pull things from your open tabs or kind of pull information. But with Comet, it can also take action. So basically, I had like Gmail open, and I'm logged into ClickUp where we manage all our tasks. And I was just like, oh, hey, add a reminder for me about this email in ClickUp for tomorrow. And then it just started like doing its thing and running on my computer, and set up a new task, like read the email, put the context in the task, and built a new task and set it up inside.
I just imagine that scene in The Matrix where the operator's like, I can't control anything.
I thought you were saying, I know Kung Fu.
Like you get locked out of your own system.
That's obviously the risk if these things go haywire. But it basically was like, kind of reminded me of Manus. Or ChatGPT Operator. But those are using like a cloud version.
I'm getting vibes of Notebook LM. Remember that Google product?
Yeah, I use that all the time. Yeah.
I think they're
a little bit. I don't really know. It doesn't really mind me that.
It has the sort of vision and image recognition. Like it could look at any window, any application, figure out where the buttons and the tools are.
I think you're thinking of something else.
Okay.
Notebook LM was where you give it a bunch of like YouTube videos or documents, and it'll turn it into a podcast.
It's the product. They have terrible names over there. So I think it's called Google Studio.
That AI Studio or something.
AI Studio.
Probably that one. The nice thing is like it is running on your computer. So unlike Manus, where you got to keep buying credits, and every time it's trying to figure something out, it's like ticking through your credits. It's just running on your system.
Yeah, I mean, browsers are not like the sexiest things, right? It's not like it's not a tangible physical device, and it's just like a white window to the world. But do you remember, I guess we're both have witnessed these monumental browser moments in history.
Yeah, I feel like the history of the internet can be marked by like browser battles.
Yeah.
If I go all the way back to Netscape and Windows Explorer.
Absolutely. I mean, the reason why Mark Andreessen is where he is today as a multi-gazillionaire is because of Netscape, right?
Yeah.
And then
also crazy of the concept that people would have to pay
for a browser when it's built into your computer. Yeah, for sure. And then I think Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google, is where he is now because of the success of Chrome. He was the product manager
for Chrome. Yeah. I was just listening to an interview with him about that. Also, another thing where it's like, oh, crazy that you, I mean, they were like at the time, it was like, why are we building a browser?
Yeah.
And it was like, well, a lot of the browsers then just were not really built for how the web was evolving.
Exactly.
And I think similar idea now. The irony, though, is all of these browsers, I believe, are built on Chromium as the backend. So, like, the foundations are still Chrome.
Yeah.
like just about every single modified browser.
Chrome is all open source. They gave the whole thing out, and wow, it was just crazy at the time. And I think, Joey, within 6 months to a year, when these browsers are less clunky, more responsive, more capable, we're going to be running it on our phones.
Yeah, or maybe an interface where it's like the Perplexity app can trigger the Perplexity, the Comet browser on your computer and do more actions that are too complicated for your phone.
Yeah. Can it take over my work Slack and just start responding to people?
Possibly eventually. Yeah. Or just understands your writing, understands what you do. I mean, the Dia, the other agentic browser that's out, doesn't do control of your tabs yet. I'm sure that's coming, and that's probably just like a safety feature, but their features were a bit more like you could kind of create pre-built prompts and just kind of call up the prompts based on how you want it to respond or write or do something. So yeah, the idea is partly it understands you better, and then also it could take action on your part.
So I hope it start to build a user profile, if you will. Like if it's you,
writing style preference or what you are interested in,
your top 10 apps that you constantly use, and the top 10 people you talk to, things like that.
Yeah. So yeah, not necessarily film specific, but I'm going to test it out and see what, because I'm remembering back to the experiments I did with ChatGPT operator of like, find me some rental gear or find me a film location.
Yeah.
So I'll try to rerun them and see if
that was only 3 months ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Things are moving fast.
I'll see if Comet can do something similar.
Okay.
And then let's see what else we got. Luma AI.
Luma AI.
Not necessarily a product update, but a physical building update. They're launching the Dream Lab LA, which is going to be a new physical office in LA,
It's run by Verena Poom and our friend Mr. John Finger.
John Finger. All those X videos have paid off.
Hey, Verena and John, if you'd like to get on the podcast, you know where to contact us.
Another Addy invite.
No, I've met V before at production a couple years back, so I am familiar with her. And John, I've met him in a meeting in the past. So
AI on the lot. I saw them both there, because that's where everyone goes.
That's right.
AI on the lot.
I did not meet them there, but they were there for sure. And then Dave Clark invites out to you as well, bud.
We need to keep track of all of Addy's invites.
So it's interesting. We like to crap on Hollywood, right? We say, production's going overseas. The California tax credits are not enough. You know, sure. To some extent, it is true. But then why are these companies going out of their way to build physical offices in Hollywood? Why do you think that is?
Yeah, because it's still the capital. Maybe it's less so of a capital, but it's still the capital of filmmaking and media and entertainment.
Right.
But I mean, I think it's a cool move by Luma, because it also reminds me, or made me think of something that Bryn was talking about in his interview, where they're like, a lot of the AI tools are built by engineers, for engineers. And, with Moonvalley, like, we're trying to build it for creatives. And this is a key thing from Luma AI as well, where they're like, we're trying to build this for creatives, you know, and like tap into the community and, set up shop in where the hub of creatives are. Yeah,
it's interesting you bring up Moonvalley and Luma. They're a little bit, to me, like a little head-to-head. So the Luma Modify tool is sort of like what Moonvalley does, style, like very capable, elaborate style transfer, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a battle. It's going to be, there's going to be a lot of overlap between these tools and throw Runway into the mix.
Competition's good, right? And especially at this early stage.
Yeah, I mean, that is also why we keep getting updates so quickly.
Yeah.
Because, it's also a lot of times, too, it's like, they have probably developed the features, just a matter of testing and releasing. And, one company releases an update and then it's like, oh, we're not going to sit and wait out that one. So we're going to release that product feature now too.
Right. Yeah, I would love for this Dream Lab folks at Luma to start on a feature film or something meaty and substantial to bite into.
I'm sure it's happening. I'm sure a lot of this stuff's happening. And I would be surprised, next year we start seeing more AI stuff, whether it's like in your face, like, hey, it's generated film, or it's like, you don't know, but it's like, oh, hey, by the way, a lot of generated stuff in that.
Nice.
You just can't tell.
That's the way to do it. Invisible VFX, right?
Yeah. I mean, if it's a good story, what does it matter?
What does it matter?
Yeah. And it gets made at the budget. What does it matter?
That is ultimately what might save the film industry in its current broken state, right? Like that's exactly what Bryn talked about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The 50, 70 mil budgets are hard to come by.
Impossible.
But if you could do the same thing, same vision for 10 to 20,
then you got a lot of people interested.
Good model. More enticing. All right. Now some more techie updates. LTX Studio, which I always feel like they're pivoting or ish. I remember they used to be like kind of a platform, but now they started releasing their own models. They released a handful of LoRa models, Pose, Depth, and Candy LoRa. And so these look like some good nodes that you could bring into Comfy to build out more powerful, complicated workflows, similar to kind of building out your own style transfer, video style transfer workflow, but running it locally on your system. Yeah,
and also you can train LoRa's yourself. I think we're going to cover it on an upcoming episode.
It'll be coming up.
But then why do that when somebody's done the work for you? Just take that and then do the creative thing that you wanted to do on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, look at these demos. It's like, oh, cool. You can give it a video. It like tracks the full body position, multiple characters, and then can drive the performance of another video.
Yeah, unless you're making like a $10 million feature film, I don't think you should be getting into the world of training your own models and building your own LoRa's. There's enough stuff for you out there, even LTX and outside of LTX, that if you know where to look, I think you can come up with a substantial workflow to get to 90% of where you need to be.
Yeah, for sure. And so, this is great it's great they're releasing these tools too, that, anyone could use them.
Awesome.
Yeah. So just putting that out there, something to be aware of. And then let's see, other update, Vidu AI, which I had not heard of Vidu AI before seeing this pop up. Had you?
No.
Had you Vidu? No Vidu?
No, I don't Vidu yet.
So they have launched an upgrade to their references feature, references to video. So they'll let you upload 7 different reference images, character scenes, props to generate a video.
7.
So, up to 7, which is a lot because Runway is like 3.
Yeah, I've never seen that number that high.
How do you direct or kind of call?
That's the thing. Like when you throw 7 images in there, I feel like it's just like too many hands in the cookie jar. Yeah,
unless there's a good way. Like Runway is clever because you can, when you upload an image, it gives it an ID, and so in your prompt you can tag that specific image. So you can be like, oh, use the person from at image 1, walking down the street, blah 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 blah. So I'm looking at their videos right now, and I gotta imagine there's a way to like call up or kind of specifically call out what elements you want from each photo.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't know. I just feel like if you're giving it 7 references, you're doing something wrong. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, you should already be working in a shot specific, like a granularity level. So you're not trying to generate a whole sequence in one go. You're already down to a shot, which are typically, 10 seconds, 30 seconds tops.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if this helps you save, I see in the demo, there is a way to tag, you can call up and tag the images similar to Runway. But no, I mean, to your point, I mean, if there is a way where, it's like, we're going to shoot in this room with these 2 characters and, this prop, and I can upload that once.
Yeah, that's 4 references.
But then keep generating and not have to, basically, if I can cut out the step where I have to like generate a first frame in another tool first and then use that to drive the video.
Got it.
And I can cut that out. Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's useful. That helps,
sure,
save time. So it's like if I can give you all these elements where it's like this is what I want to use in my scene, and then I can direct the scene and have different shots and positions and I don't have to keep re-uploading stuff. That'd be cool if it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious to try it.
Yeah, I would try it out. And then, another image to video update. This one from Baidu AI, a Chinese company.
Baidu's huge.
Ustreamer. Yeah. Image and video model newly launched at Baidu.
I think Baidu is like their Amazon.
I did go to the website and it is only in Chinese, so it was hard to
Yeah, Baidu is as big as like Alibaba or Tencent.
That's what I thought it was. I'm like, isn't this one of their e-commerce massive companies? Yeah, this is their AI arm. So with the Ustreamer, you can do 10-second clips at full 1080, various different versions of models, Turbo, Lite, Pro.
I wonder if this stuff is going to be available for free or open sourced in any way.
I'm not sure. I did try to translate the website, but it was still also hard to navigate with the translation.
Yeah, quality looks good. And in a world where we're already seeing a lot of models, sure, come on in. Here's another model.
And another one. Yeah, but I mean, interesting to see, I feel like 1080, like full HD is sort of becoming the standard or like the baseline now to come in with a new model. Like it's got to be at the full HD quality.
Yeah, this takes me back to when we transitioned from standard def to HD. Remember the battle between HD DVD and Blu-ray?
Yeah.
And then ultimately as Sony and PlayStation won.
And ultimately, it didn't even matter because we went streaming.
It didn't even matter. But no, it did matter in the sense that, we had all the colorists, all the editors have had to conform to that new resolution, which helped push Final Cut and Premiere and Avid into the products they are today. So I'm seeing like the same sort of, we're going to see like almost like a plateau where resolution hits, and then we're going to see another plateau to 4K, hopefully over the next couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious, and I remember talking about this with like Topaz, of like, are we going to get to models that keep pushing out 4K, or are you kind of want to keep it around like 1080 and then you up-res it?
I'm guessing here both Marey, Moonvalley, and Baidu are probably up-resing under the hood.
You think they're making something smaller and up-resing before they give it to you?
Yeah, because typically the generations are square formats, 1-to-1 aspect ratios. And then what they're doing is they're probably up-resing it enough, then cropping to get to a 16:9. That's my guess. But hey, if you're out there and I'm wrong, definitely let me know.
I'd be curious what's happening under the hood. That's interesting. I mean, I imagine as the compute and everything gets better, like there'll probably be 4K outputs that look sharp.
That's the thing. Video generation's so expensive, right? Compute-wise, that you don't want to waste a single pixel.
Yeah.
And so if you can do the bulk of your computation and inference at a lower resolution, let's say, 720 by 720, and then once it's like a decent enough image, upscale it to 1080 by 1080 or 1920 by 1920, and then crop it to 1920 1080.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. And then the next one, Grok 4. So
boy.
We won't get too into it, but if you're following the news, Grok 3 went a little bit crazy in the worst ways possible.
Nazi.
And also the CEO resigned. So aside from that, Grok 4 didn't slow them down from releasing Grok 4. Nothing really in the image generation space. A lot of the updates were more with Grok 4 were more around performance and reasoning enhancements. A lot of benchmarks cited, and that it did really well on certain benchmarks. We've talked about benchmark stuff where I'm just like,
I mean, in a land where we have
and a bit also like, okay,
we have ChatGPT, we have Claude, like we have all these amazing LLMs. Who's using Grok? Like, who's paying for it?
Good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're like, our model needs to be a little bit more unhinged.
I think that's what Elon said. Grok has like levels of unhinged. And I think at the highest level of unhinged, there is no alignment. So it could do whatever it wants, say whatever it wants.
I did see some other article that they're going to roll out Grok into Teslas starting next week.
See, that makes sense. But that's kind of weird.
How does that make sense? Like, you can let Grok take over your car? And just like...
Oh, no. I don't think it's that. I think it's... so Tesla has a lot of like voice command and stuff like navigate to, or, instead of that, you can tell Grok, hey, I'm really hungry, feeling like a pizza, but I'm not sure where to go. And then
it's going to be like, you really want a pizza?
Asshole.
You sure about that? You look in the mirror? Yeah, I could, We'll see how this goes.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it does have a internal camera, so it's probably looking at it. It's like, you've put on extra 10 pounds. Let's take you to Tender Greens instead. It's like, I didn't ask for that.
Yeah, I don't know who is using the API on Grok. I'm curious about that. I did notice too, now they also are adding a $300 a month plan for Grok. I'm assuming to use the Grok Super Turbocharger Pro.
Yeah, to me, like, of course you can fund the whole company from the billions that Elon has, right? Like, but what I'm trying to get at is like, what is the actual P&L? What is the actual revenue of this company that's putting out very expensive LLMs? They're not cheap to build.
Also, where, you see what happened with Grok 3 and you're just like, do I want to use that model on my company data that could, just go off the walls?
Yeah, it doesn't feel enterprise safe. And the enterprise is where most of the money with APIs are.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I mean, I always kind of forget about Grok. There were like some instances where I was thinking like, maybe for some kind of off the wall-ish uses, or if you're hitting, I don't mean this in a trying to skirt the safety way, but sometimes the LLMs are a little bit too cautious, depending on what types of projects you're trying to do, or not understanding, pushing the limits of human creativity.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, maybe Grok would work for that, because it seems to
it's more
care less about safety.
Yeah, right.
Depending on what you're doing, that might be a potential use case.
Like if you're Tarantino.
Right.
And you're writing a script.
Right.
Most of the shit you write is not going to be...
Maybe you need the Grok model to help you write the script to explore, fictional creative realms.
What's the word? Explore previously taboo territory. And that's art, right?
Yeah, because this is an issue even with the image generators. You're working on a zombie film or a gore film, and it's tough to generate stuff because it's always like they have gore filters and even not even gore, but just like slight blood.
That takes me. That's an interesting point. Going back to Marey and Luma, because they're creative focused, Hollywood focused tools, you also have to be more quote unquote unhinged, right? To allow for more NSFW output or what have you.
I mean, look, I mean, obviously you want protections against just abuse and you know, not authorized deepfakes of people and abuse of these platforms. So, you know, maybe with Marey and Luma, they have, you know, a different tier for vetted creatives where it's like, we, you know,
or maybe that gets unlocked the minute you start to pay for the premium highest end license that only big studios can pay for. I don't know.
Maybe. I'm hoping there's more vetted process so that like smaller creators don't have to pay enterprise levels just to make a crazy zombie horror film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would see that as like a decent middle ground where it's like, okay, hey, like you agree to, you know, we can audit your creations and stuff to make sure you're not abusing it and you're a vetted creator, but you will give you access to the less protected version.
These are all interesting questions, and we're navigating through such interesting times.
Yeah, right? And obviously it's moving super fast, and everyone's figuring it out.
For sure.
Yeah, that's it for the updates that I got on my list.
Good roundup of the stuff in AI this week.
A good week. I mean, between Marey, Veo 3 having images, and Comet, that's probably been the bulk of my feed. But nice stuff about Marey. I'm excited to mess around with it more.
Yeah, I'm really optimistic for the future of AI in Hollywood. This seems like exactly the right step we need. And kudos to Luma also for opening up a Hollywood studio.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what that's going to look like as well. So yeah, exciting week. And again, if you want to learn more about Moonvalley and Asteria and all that, we've got the 2-parter interview with Bryn. So go check that out. The links and everything we talk about as usual at denoisedpodcast.com.
The Bryn episodes have had a ton of comments, you know, on both sides of the fence, which we welcome. We welcome a debate. So go ahead and engage with those if you haven't seen it. Yeah, but make sure you watch the full episode first, because a lot of these comments I can tell, like, you did not actually watch the video. So watch the video and then leave your comments so they're informed comments. Yes. Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you in the next episode.